Hi all, this channel recently received quite a few more viewers, so I thought I'd do a quick video showing some more detail on this robot here. This is our robot called Tormenta 2. It's currently our only active machine. The Tormenta 1, the predecessor to this one, slightly got destroyed in battle, which is the nature of this sport. Now this is semi-dismantled. It's missing one or two nuts and bolts and things, but it's essentially all here. I think I'll start off by saying that this isn't light. To give you an idea, this weighs getting onto 30 pounds, probably about 29 pounds at the moment, which is 13-ish kilograms. If that isn't a clear picture in weight for you, imagine a fully laden suitcase. Imagine how heavy that would be to throw around the floor. And then if you go back one or two videos, you can see this thing driving around and you can see it shifts. Now, considering its weight, you need to have a lot of drive power in these things. And we're not using fancy brushless setups, we're using very cheap, very rough and ready innards from cordless drills. Now this thing here is the motor. That's a standard 550 size motor, 12 volt motor, and the gearbox that it comes with. You can get in there. You can see better on these ones, slightly different shape. There we go. We've got 4 of those in this machine. Many machines use just 2. We decided that we wanted 4 simply because the nature of this machine is that its main weapon is pushing around other machines as well as the active weapon, which I'll show in a minute. So we've got 4 powerful drive motors. The reason they're so powerful is that they're powerful by nature. If you've ever used a cordless drill, you know that it might not break your wrist, but it can certainly hurt your wrist. Imagine that times 4 is the kind of power we're dealing with, but it's in fact much more than that because, as I said, these are all 12 volt motors. That's fairly common practice in this hobby to overvolt motors. So this LiPo is a 5 cell, so nominally 18.5 volts, and these are 12 volt motors. Fully charged, that would be about 21. That means we're running these motors at almost double their rated voltage. The reason this is generally okay to do is because the battles at longest can only last 3 minutes. So and they often don't last that long at all. So if they last just 3 minutes, the motors will get very warm. But generally, we've never burnt a motor out purely from overvolting. We have burnt motors out because we are overrunning the gearboxes that come with these drills, because the torque that these motors produce is doubled when you up the voltage by a factor of 150%. So that means we're putting way too much torque through these gearboxes, so we're blowing those gearboxes quite often. We have a solution for that in the future. Moving on, the weapon motor is again a cordless drill setup. This one, however, as you can see, is humongous. This is the innards from an AEG 14.4 volt drill that we found at the bins. That's linked by a chain to the weapon. If you click on the LiPo down here, that should take you to a video, an early test video of the weapon itself, and where else can you click? If you click on that middle white block there, that will take you to a video showing this thing driving around. The radio is a standard 2.4 GHz. This is a Planet T5 transmitter. Fairly simple. It hasn't got inbuilt mixing or anything like that, but it does the job and it's rugged. The speed controllers, now these are fairly interesting. This speed controller controls the big drill motor. That's called an electronized 30 HRX or something like that. It's at 30 standing for 30 amps. So it's a fairly powerful speed controller. That one handles the big drill. Now these in here, you may recognize them. These are Turnigy TZ85 brushless speed controllers. Now these are brushed motors. These are hacked by a group in Australia called Botbits, is their commercial name, and they reprogram and rewire the internals on these things so that they can work for brushed motors. So these are rated at 85 amps continuously. That's perhaps a bit wishful, but they are very powerful. So that more or less covers the setup. The signal from the transmitter goes to the receiver, which is sponged up at the moment in focus, which is this bit. The signal from there goes, part of it goes into something that's stuck underneath that you can't see, which is a channel mixer, because as I said, this doesn't have inbuilt mixing. And the mixing means that the drive is all on this stick. So forwards, backwards, left, right, and anything in between is on this one stick. And then the rest of the signals go to the electronize, which is controlled by this, which is the weapon control. So for the weapon, that brings the forks up. That pushes the forks underneath the machine. I think that's more or less it. The overall cost of this machine we figure to be, from scratch, in the region of £500. I'll let other people do conversions. What else? The materials. This material is plastic. It's a high density polyethylene called HDPE. 20mm and 10mm armour plates and 20mm bulkheads. This you may recognise as a drain pipe, and on the front we have the same, just typical box section, all custom built, all designed in the computer, and then we built it from scratch in our workshop. And there you go. So remember, when you see this thing in videos, it doesn't weigh 3 or 4 kilos, it weighs 13, and it does about top speed of 10 miles per hour. So this is on the upper end for these machines in terms of power and speed. I hope you enjoy future videos. Thanks very much for subscribing.